Hey everyone, in this tutorial I'd like to talk about a disassembling or breaking effect of animated character. So here you see the result. So what we have here a character being animated, and while it's dancing we see how it's being fractured uh, during the animation. So let's see how it was done. So here we have our scene and the character which is already prepared, and um, this is the cached version of the character, which you can download on my channel and or use anyone you have. So so the first steps are we're freezing our character just to have some operation on the mesh. So what I'm doing in this case, we are pre-fracturing the character. So I have scattered some points on the surface, and using points from volume also create some points inside of the character. Okay, so this way I have some interior fractures as well, and merging them both together, I'm using it to fracture my geometry. So, and no modifications were applied, so just uh, straight using nodes without any um, um, custom tweaking. Okay, so only here just the separation values. All right, and next we're using the point to form node um, to apply our animation to the pre-fractured geometry. Okay, so here we have. You might want to play with the point deform values just to have things uh, deformed better. I haven't done this. I simply use it as it is without any tweaking, just to show you the the effect itself. Uh, and next, here I am applying a UV texture to my points on x-axis. The reason I'm doing that I want my fractures being controlled uh, as I prefer. So next, I'm copying UV values from my the static geometry onto my animated geometry. Okay, and then I'm assembling it. Uh, we already have uh, the name attribute which is being created here to our pieces, and the only thing I'm doing is just packing primitives. So now we have 824 packed primitives. Okay, so um, here I'm applying an attribute active, which is used during the simulations. Here I'm just uh, creating an active attribute which is a 0. It means that during the simulation we we are zero, we are canceling the simulation, so we have only uh, animation being applied to the character. So let me turn this off for now, just to visualize how it actually works. Okay. Before we dive into simulation part, I just want to talk about the gradient animation. So here I am applying a time shift, and I'm deleting all the geometry just to visualize things. And here I'm creating a animated gradient. Okay, in this case, I'm using the UVs of the character which we um, created before. Okay, and this way I'm controlling my gradients according to the UVs of a character. And for example, if I just uh, look how my gradients being applied onto the animated character, you see it's even if it's moving, it's being applied uh, from start of the head and going down to the bottom, to the legs, feet. Okay, if as as I as I as I said in the last lesson, if I use the, for example, world-based noise applied to the character, it would be distributed randomly while the animation is happening. So this is a good thing. Work with UVs in a case if you have an animated geometry and you'd like to properly apply your um, animated attribute, in this case is gradient. Okay, another thing that would also be a benefit in my opinion, if you have a rig character, not the cached one, so you have those bones which you can convert into some shapes like lines, and you could transfer also your attributes like to the arms and hands separately, and this would give you a much more control over your character attribute distribution. Okay. um, okay, so this is I'm having my animated gradient out. So now we go into our simulation. So here we have our character. So this is the uh, this we have here gravity with the ground merged together, and we have a final output. In here we're using a multi-solver just to have several solvers to be used in one scenario. Okay, so here I have uh, imported our LVD packed object. So I'm using a create deforming active object. I want animation to continue while the simulation will take place slowly according to my gradient. Okay, and this will give yeah, deforming mesh of the character, and I'm using the first contest geometry. So here, if I now play, just let me just, so as you see, even if I'm trying to use my create deforming active object, it still um, activates the dynamics. So um, and all those animations are still being applied on those uh, simulated fractured pieces. Okay, so that's why I created this attribute the beginning, which is active equals 0. So by activating this zeroing out this attribute, so we can see now if I start playing, as you see, so we keeping our animated character without any dynamics being applied. All right, so let me just so here you see the the activation is being applied onto my legs first, and then onto the body, um, because uh, because of actually because that I have here a frozen geometry. Okay, so just seems like we okay. So here's the character, and the time shift uh, was on, and and it was transferring like the gradient from top to bottom. So it was transferring to the closest position. It was legs actually. Okay, so let me just cancel this one. So I'm turning this off. This way I'm having all my points being correct. Okay, and now go back here. So multi-solver, we're using a subsolver to transfer our activation, and then after this solver is done, it will transfer everything to a rigid body solver. Rigid body solver, no tweaks I've made to all those parameters, just a basic one. The only thing I applied the drag just to ease the simulation process, okay, to stop those pieces faster. And here we dive into subsolver. Here I have that my uh, color being imported here, which will evaluate every frame. And here I'm transferring the color attribute onto my dynamic object, okay. And here I'm um, asking if there's a change in the color. I would like uh, to turn my activate attribute. My active attribute is 1, and the deforming is 0. Um, um, so the deforming is telling those pieces just to stop the animation. If I, for example, just turn it off, so we could see what's going on. Like, so here, if I jump a little further, so as you see, if I play the simulation, so here's the dynamics is taking place, but as you see, all of the pieces are still trying to maintain all the animation that character had. Okay, so to avoid this, we are adding deforming attribute, which is 0, so no animation is happening while we are running our simulation. Okay, then I'm just adding color and add geometry. So this way Alright, so here we have our simulation being cooked, and now, as you see, those pieces are falling and behaving correctly, while the rest of the character, while it's not like an active dynamic object, is still being used using an animation deformation. Okay. uh, yeah, this is the dynamics part. Then we just export our uh, RBD packed object, and what I did, I simply cached my dynamics. Here I have all those packed geometry. Then, just to visualize things, I've added uh, a color. Here I'm using an active as a color distribution, and 0 to 1. Um, the active turns yellow, okay, but not active is still in blue color. A little color correction, just okay. So this is how you can turn your animation into a dynamic object, fractured dynamic object with uh, a custom gradient, with custom control, I should say. Well, yeah, and this is a final result, which I think looks very good. Um Well, this is all I'd like to share in this lesson. I hope you liked the lesson, and if it was useful, please subscribe for more upcoming tutorials. And thank you very much. Good luck and goodbye.